Hey everybody, welcome to Game Day View, presented by Mercedes-Benz. Patrick Claybon, glad to be here with Greg Rosenthal and Cynthia Freeland. We started Week 9 in the NFL. We'll get you all of the games that we're looking ahead to. But first, let's look back and see what our current standings are going into this week. And things are getting a little tighter, Greg Rosenthal. Still wearing the crown, but Cynthia Freeland and I both went 12-4.
Well, I'd like to make an official statement. I am not accepting the results of the Giants-Jets game. I've forced a complaint. I'm proposing that the Giants actually won that game. That was ridiculous what happened at the end of that. I'm not accepting that. We're waiting to hear back from the Rules Committee.
All right, a stat correction request from Greg Rosenthal. Folks, we got the game of the year, the Dolphins and Chiefs from Frankfurt, Germany, Sunday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern, exclusively on NFL Network and streaming on NFL Plus. You know Tyreek wants to beat his old team. Before the game, he's sitting down with Michael Irvin. Here's a sneak peek.
You get a chance to go up against that former team. What are your thoughts as you get ready to go up against them?
Man, I'm excited for it, man, just to see like a bunch of old faces. Me and Pat still got a relationship. Me and Kelsey still got a relationship. And I kind of got a sneaky celebration that I plan on doing against him. It's going to be fun. It may piss him off a little bit, but part of the game, though, I turn into like a little roadway model whenever, you feel me, I get to do whatever I want to.
Oh, fired up for this game. You can catch the full Tyreek interview with Irv on Game Day Kickoff Sunday at 7 a.m. Eastern. Chiefs and Dolphins currently top 2 seeds in the AFC. Who wins the matchup in Frankfurt, Cynthia?
The Chiefs win the matchup in Frankfurt 27-25. A high-scoring but just 2-point victory for the Chiefs. Why? Because of intermediate passes, of course, to their rookie standout receiver who has played the most snaps in terms of receivers on the team at 66.7. That's Rashee Rice. He's also averaged 2.6 yards per route run, which ranks second among rookies, only to Puka Nacua. The point that I'm trying to make is that the deep passes, especially with Jalen Ramsey back, could be not an area of strength. That hasn't really been their strength this season. However, intermediate passes, those 10 to 19 air yard passes, those are the ones you want to look out for and what's going to bolster this team.
Look, I've got the exact same score as you, Cynthia, 27-25.
Twins?
But I have a different winner. I have the Dolphins. I feel sick. I feel sick to my stomach picking against Patrick Mahomes. We've done this show for 5 years. It never goes well picking against Patrick Mahomes, especially when Cynthia has him. But there's a different Dolphins defense with Jalen Ramsey back at cornerback. He looked fantastic last week. You know who else is returning this week?
Who?
Xavier Howard, I believe, is going to play in this game. I know he's questionable, but he's out there practicing. Nick Needham, their cornerback in the slot, also might be returning. But the way Ramsey played and the way Jalen Phillips has added some juice, he's now healthy. Bradley Chubb's playing really well. I see Patrick Mahomes sitting back there, Patrick, and he has all the time in the world. He's getting protected, and he doesn't know what to do. He's just holding the ball. Nobody's open. I've never seen a Patrick Mahomes like this. It's got me shook.
Go ahead, Cynthia.
But I just want to point out, you're not wearing your bomber jacket today. I don't know if I can take you seriously.
Well, you know, I'm a man of many talents. And
The Jets-Giants result just has, Greg, all the...
It really does.
I don't think either of the quarterbacks are going to be very askew in this one. I have a high-scoring game. Our scores are all basically the same, minus 27-25. Dolphins in this one because, of course, Patrick Mahomes, one of the greatest football players that we've seen in the past 15 years. He's very good. Tyreek Hill is playing to a level that nobody else is. He's playing even better, I would make the argument, than A.J. Brown is right now. He has one game this season where he didn't score a touchdown, already over 1,000 yards receiving. This is coming into week 9. I mean, we can't declare who's going to win the game, but the people who have said, oh, the Dolphins hadn't played anybody, this isn't college football. Like, they're playing professionals. I think they're a very good team, and they have a chance to win this game.
You guys are giving me a prime number.
Okay, do the
with
dance.
Patrick Mahomes.
Do the I got the Chiefs.
Okay.
I get the Chiefs and by myself. This is where I make up the game on Greg. Let's go.
The dance can either work out in your favor or it could
listen. No one's going to argue that taking a prime number on Patrick Mahomes is not a really sound strategy. Even if I weren't picking with a model, if I were picking just based on like how to strategically get ahead of you, this is it. I'm feeling great about this.
We will be texting you 9:30 a.m. on the West Coast when the Dolphins win this game.
Not the only big game. We got a
huge
matchup between the Cowboys and the Eagles. Fair to say, one of the best rivalries in all of sports.
If you love NFL football, you've come to the right place. Welcome to Pandemonium.
We want Dallas. Dallas, we hate you.
Coming up the right side. Dorsett, and he's gone. Tony Dorsett, touchdown.
Buddy Ryan may have just become Texas's public enemy #1. There wasn't bad blood before. There's going to be bad blood now.
I would have said something to Buddy, but he wouldn't stand on the field long enough. He put his big fat rear end into the dressing room.
I resent that. I've been on a diet. I lost a couple of pounds, and I thought I was looking good.
I got to tell you what a joy it is to come to Philadelphia and dodge ice balls, about 25 of which have been thrown into the booth in the last 3 minutes. He's sacked. Reggie White, look out. Deion's got the interception.
Touchdown, Emmitt Smith. Aikman to Irvin. The Eagles lead 41-3. The Cowboys conclusively the superior team.
This is like a heavyweight brawl.
The Eagles sit atop the East at 7-1, but Dallas is right there at 5-2. Dallas was all over the Rams last week. The Birds scratched by the Commanders. Greg, how do you see this game playing?
I have the Eagles winning 30-28, so it's a 3-point expectation. The Cowboys thread that needle. I'm not confident because the Cowboys have the better defense, clearly. The Eagles' defense has been a little too close to average, and both of these quarterbacks are playing well. So my strongest feeling is we got scores. We got a score fest. Dak Prescott and Jalen Hurts are both playing so well from the pocket right now. Dak has played basically 2 perfect games in a row, and Jalen Hurts, who was just a little up and down to start the year, is now making great decisions from the pocket. And so I just think we're going to see great quarterback play. I love that Dak is running more than he used to, and Jalen Hurts, even when he doesn't run, is making better decisions, again, from the pocket. So the Cowboys' defense beats up on bad opponents. The Eagles are not a bad opponent.
Okay, well, I have the same winner, but I have 4 points, so I guess I'm on the other side of it. 26-22, Philadelphia wins this game for me. I do want to show Cowboys fans a lot of highlights of CeeDee Lamb because last year, CeeDee Lamb torched this team, and part of the reason for that was because the middle of their defense, the spine of their defense is not an area that they invested a lot of money in. Au contraire, that is now different. Kevin Byard is there.
Okay.
That is going to make a significant difference at the safety position. So when I'm looking at CeeDee Lamb, who, by the way, we saw him line up outside last week, which was pretty cool, and also one of the reasons why Dak has been so effective this season, shorter passes, quicker passes, CeeDee Lamb being all over the formation. That's been helpful, but Kevin Byard in this one means Birds have a significantly increased middle of their defense.
I am going to take the Birds as well. Also, similarly to Greg, I have them threading the needle. A 1-point win for the Philadelphia Eagles on the wings of an Eagle that's, again, playing some of the best football in the NFL right now, and that's A.J. Brown. Dallas plays a ton of man, only trailing Wink Martindale and the New York Giants. These are A.J. Brown catches from the fourth quarter. All of these catches are in crucial game situations, and A.J. has delivered time after time after time this season. I think that it's a late play by A.J. Brown that gives the Birds, again, a 1-point win over the Dallas Cowboys. So meme away.
Yeah, I don't feel
Everybody,
good about this one.
We're all on
Big game.
the Philadelphia Eagles. We got a big playoff rematch Sunday night. The Bills and the Bengals. These teams met last year in the divisional round where Joe Burrow carved up the Bills in the snow. Joe Cool threw for 242 and 2 touchdowns. Cincy went on to win it 27-10 after a slow start to the season. The Bengals doing the thing that they've typically done these past few years. They just rip off wins, 3 straight. The match-off could be a playoff preview. But what do you see happening, Greg?
I like the Bills in this game. I went back and forth. I had the Bengals at first, and I flipped it. I liked what I saw to Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills last week against Tampa. It was a totally different offense. It was a lot of hurry up, and it was a lot of Josh Allen running the ball. To me, they are better off when Josh Allen takes that governor off and he runs. But they also are better off when they're playing really fast. They were getting up to the line of scrimmage. It allowed the rest of their weapons, like Dalton Kincaid, like Gabe Davis, like your boy Khalil Shakir. Like, the entire Bills attack was unlocked. I know it was against the Bucs, but there was something about this week that everyone's just like, well, the Bengals own the Bills. And the Bengals, now they're back. And I just didn't like that. And I think the Bills are kind of like a team that's been at the top for so long, they get up for these big games. They only feel alive when they're in one of these big games. I think they're going to play their best.
I mean, I love it when we're aligned. I love it when we have the same margin. I, too, have a 1-point win. A slightly lower scoring game projected for me than for Greg. 24-23 is my final score. But I do want to talk about Joe Mixon, because one of the areas where the Bengals are like, hey, watch that Bills defense. You can run all over them. Joe Mixon, he's back. He saw what he did against the Niners.
Is that you doing my voice?
No, I'm
fan?
Those are more other fans talking to each other.
I love
the fans you were talking to were talking to the fans I'm talking to.
They're doofuses. That's
yeah, exactly. But you know who's there now? Linval Joseph. You know where he was before? Probably on his couch,
yeah, chilling,
like doing some working out, getting a good lift in, all those things. But that's going to help shore up that middle now that Daquan Jones is not there, which was a huge loss for the Bills. I'm not suggesting Linval Joseph is going to make up for that, but between him and Rasul Douglas becoming a part of this team, this defense is not as injured as the one that we saw even against Tampa Bay.
Well, I will prevent you guys from being concerned about a meme alert here, because I will take the Cincinnati Bengals. They've been playing such good football. The Bengals defense has given up more than 20 points since week 4. They held Geno and company to 13 points in pay court. Look what they did against Brock Purdy, forcing turnovers in crucial situations. We've seen this defense deliver late into the regular season and into the postseason. I think they have an opportunity at home. If I could take a stray bond with the Bengals at home in a big game, the way Joe Burrow's playing right now, the way Jamar Chase is playing right now, do it.
It's a fair point.
I'll take it.
It's a fair point.
I mean, there's only 3 of us. One of us is bound to get a stray bond or prime number here in these good games.
Or just Greg.
Well, Greg has done the math on that, so let's do some more math. Cynthia, well, Joe Burrow, who, again, has been in fuego lately, throw 2 touchdown passes Sunday night.
That feels like a yes. Why? Well, when I'm looking at Joe Burrow's opportunities, I mean, Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are both, and by the way, Tyler Boyd's been stepping up as well. There are missing pieces to this secondary. I told you Rasul Douglas is back. However, they have been pretty targetable there on the back end of that Bills defense.
All right, don't look now, folks. Geno and the Seahawks are in first place, and they're going to the Charm City to face off against Lamar Jackson and the Ravens. It's a battle of the birds. Our picks for that game coming up next right here on Game Day.
To see. So when I'm looking at the defense and what the Ravens are able to do, especially if you kind of can't get the run game going, which is where the Ravens have been excellent, that means you're really going to not want to have red zone offense faltering. So 2-point win. I was surprised, though. I thought maybe the Seahawks. My model loves the Seahawks, so I was surprised that.
Well, even having it 2 points means it's close. And you told us your model said this was the 3rd most likely Super Bowl matchup.
And
I
by
love
the way,
that.
Yeah.
And it's buried in our B block. I mean, give some respect to this game. This game would be the game of the week most weeks. Lamar, Geno, I love it. I love the Ravens defense more than the Seahawks defense right now, though. So I'm going Ravens. I'm having them win 27-23, so I have it closer than 5.5 as well. The Ravens lead the NFL in sacks, and they don't really have any great pass rushers, but it's a group that's limiting opposing quarterbacks to 5.4 yards per attempt. That's half a yard better than the rest of the league. They make quarterbacks have to make really quick decisions. And Geno Smith, in the offseason, decided, I'm not going to take as many sacks. I'm not going to hold on to the ball as long. So he's getting rid of the ball more quickly. But those quick decisions sometimes have given the opponents a chance to make a big play. I think this week, the Ravens just limit Geno a little better than the Seahawks can limit Lamar.
I also agree. You can go ahead and meme us. The Baltimore Ravens win this game to me, 25-19, because they've been so good in between the 20s, and the Seahawks are allowing a touchdown on 73% of the possessions that get into the red zone. Guess who that works out for? It is one man in Gus Edwards, who's playing very good football right now. They do tackle well on the edges, so shout out to Devin Witherspoon. He's having a great rookie season, but the Ravens are playing too well right now. I've got them winning this game as well. Meme away. We're taking Baltimore. Moving on to the Raiders. Earlier in the week, they fired head coach Josh McDaniels, general manager Dave Ziegler, offensive coordinator Mick Lombardi. McDaniels had a 9-16 record in his 1.5 seasons with the team. The linebackers coach, Antonio Pierce, now named the interim head coach as we get into the fact that they're playing host to the Giants on Sunday. Aiden O'Connell is set to start for Las Vegas at quarterback. Daniel Jones expected to play for the G-men. Considering everything that's gone on, it's been hard to put our fingers on Las Vegas. How do you feel about this game, Greg?
I mean, I didn't know how to feel about it. This game is a little bit of a mess, and then I watched this video.
The short story, the matter of fact is I grew up in Compton, California. I was born a Raider. I was born with the Raiders rolling in the Coliseum in L.A. I was rolling with NWA, talking straight out of Compton, rocking Raider hats. So when the opportunity came to work with Josh and Pat Graham and Dave, I jumped on it. So that's what set me up for this. I was born this way.
Woo! Ooh-wee. I mean, born this way, it's over. That was the moment I said, oh, Raiders win this game. I don't need to see anymore. I don't care that Aiden O'Connell's only starting his second game. What, he can play worse than Daniel Jones has this year for the Giants? No. Let's go Raiders. Plus, the Giants, you hurt me last week, and I don't forgive you for that.
Well, you may not forgive them, but the math has the Giants with a 1-point edge, 19-18. For me, because of Aiden O'Connell, you do typically and mathematically see a little bit of a bump when a team fires a head coach. However, this is a little bit early, and the fact that the quarterback changes, if they would have had Jimmy Graham, it would be different. But I do want to talk about Antonio Pierce. I feel very fortunate to have kind of gotten to know him because my good friend Matthias Kiwanuka was on that defensive team with him. And if you're looking at a guy who people do want to run through the wall for, like Devontae Adams said, it actually is him. It's ironic, though, that this start comes against his former team. And that is pretty funny, right? He gets to start as a head coach against...
That was the moment I said, oh, Raiders win this game. I don't need to see anymore. I don't care that Aiden O'Connell's only starting his second game. What, he can play worse than Daniel Jones has this year for the Giants? No. Let's go Raiders. Plus, the Giants, you hurt me last week, and I don't forgive you for that.
Well, you may not forgive them, but the math has the Giants with a 1-point edge, 19-18. For me, because of Aiden O'Connell, you do typically and mathematically see a little bit of a bump when a team fires a head coach. However, this is a little bit early, and the fact that the quarterback changes, if they would have had Jimmy Graham, it would be different. But I do want to talk about Antonio Pierce. I feel very fortunate to have kind of gotten to know him because my good friend Matthias Kiwanuka was on that defensive team with him. And if you're looking at a guy who people do want to run through the wall for, like Devontae Adams said, it actually is him. It's ironic, though, that this start comes against his former team. And that is pretty funny, right? He gets to start as a head coach against a team that he won a Super Bowl. Like, that's kind of the team that he won a Super Bowl. Like, that's kind of poetic, right? And he's worked his way up. He's, it's not like last year when we saw someone come from TV into the coaching ranks. He's really done the actual work on the ground to be that player coach.
And it's a spectacular story coming again, being born a Raider, as he says. Now he gets to coach his first career game against the team that he won a Super Bowl for. I kind of agree with the model. We have a 1-point difference, though. 19-17 with the Giants winning this one because I don't know who the Raiders are going to be. Again, congratulations to Antonio Pierce. The Raiders defense struggled to tackle Jahmyr Gibbs. The week before that, they struggled to tackle Deontay Foreman, and now they have a fully operational Giants backfield. Saquon Barkley ran for 128 yards, basically against the Maginot line. There was no hope with Tommy DeVito at quarterback playing against the Jets. Saquon goes for that huge number, 36 carries, and now Dimes is back. I think with an opportunity to be healthy, maybe after watching Tyrod orchestrate this offense better than he has the entire season, the Giants play a little better against a Raiders team that's figuring things out.
Well, you know who was the only one who picked the Raiders against the Broncos in Week 1 or the Raiders against the Packers on Monday night? It was just Greg, and they came through for me. Let's go.
All right. Silver and black attack from Greg. Coming up, the Jets have more magic up their sleeve than Gandalf the Great. They've won 3 straight, but can Justin Herbert and the Bolts simply walk into MetLife and walk out with a win? That's next on Game Day Live.
Zerline ready. The snap clean, the placement down, the kick is up, and the kick hooks to the left, but it's good! Inside the left upright for Zerline, and the Jets win it in overtime, and honestly, I'm not sure how.
Greg Rosenthal's not sure how either. His grievance is still standing. The Chargers take on the Jets on Monday night. Gang Green coming off that miracle win last week against the Giants. They've now won 3 in a row. Primetime game. How do you see it going, Cynthia?
I think that the Jets win again in this matchup. It's very interesting to me to call for an upset, but 22-21 is the final score that the model came up with. Greg was trying to accuse me of, knowing too much. I just think I know more about the Jets than this. Anyways.
I mean, you've worked for them. I'm just.
Yes, but that's a good thing. Garrett Wilson has such a great opportunity in this matchup to exploit a secondary where the corners, they haven't been playing so great. The numbers that they're allowing in terms of kind of every metric that matters, expected points added, all of the, completion percentage allowed, this is an area where they've been great. And you know what? Zach Wilson last game had his best game under pressure as a professional, which means Garrett Wilson's opportunities, especially against a defense that has been very susceptible to wide receivers, it's a good opportunity.
I would love to see Garrett Wilson with a better quarterback, one like Justin Herbert, who plays for the Chargers. Some players have revenge games. This is a revenge pick. I'm taking the Chargers in this one, and it's partly because of Joey Bosa. Look, there was two Josephs last week who suddenly looked like their old selves and maybe changed the course of their season. Joseph Burrow and Joseph Bosa. I've been waiting for the old Joey Bosa to show up, and he's been playing through an injury, and you give him credit for that, but he looked like the old guy. It was just the eye test. I know the numbers weren't crazy. It was 1 sack, 1 QB hit, 5 pressures, but he was all over the place, and I think he makes the difference. They need their best players to step up against a bad Jets offensive line.
Yeah, and not just the offense. You wonder about the signal caller as well. I have the Bolts in this one, 21-20, because I did, much like Greg Rosenthal, watch that rock fight between the Giants and the Jets in MetLife. And the Giants had to put in undrafted free agent Tommy DeVito as a rookie playing in his first career NFL game. What was the Jets' reasoning again? That the offense was so bad. They barely won in a miracle, just a donation fashion. I cannot on good conscience come off of that and take them to win a game over the Justin Herbert-led Bolts, even though he's still got the wiggly digit as well, so it's another prime number for Cindy.
Prime number for me, and you're giving me a prime number. You usually hate and point out things like this, recency bias. Dear Patrick, recency bias mush. Oh, touche.
But
just saying.
Recency bias is fine when I don't necessarily like the team. Either way, let's get the quick picks presented by Zillow. Cardinals and Browns, Deshaun Watson back at quarterback for Cleveland. Does that change anything for you, Cynthia?
Well, I mean, sure, but I have Cleveland winning 24-15. But Budda Baker, this is the show of record that loves Budda Baker the most. He's finally back and looking like himself. It's not going to change the outcome in this game, but it's going to be fun to watch. He's kind of everywhere. I'm not sure what we should call the position he's playing because safety-ish monster. He's a safety monster. That's the new position, safety monster. He's everywhere. He looks really good, and it keeps this team feisty. So I'm looking at the Cardinals, and despite the win-loss record not being great, they're a feistier team than people give them credit for.
Although they're probably starting Clayton Tune, according to Ian Rappaport.
Again,
we'll see.
this is not, I'm not saying that they're going to win. I just love Budda Baker.
They have been a spicy team. They have not cared.
Right.
Everything that you said about the Cardinals have not cared. They've just gone out there and played good football all season. The Vikings and the Falcons, Jaron Hall, nice to meet you, starting for Minnesota. Taylor Heineke gets the nod for Atlanta. Drake London ruled out for this game. What do you see, Greg?
I've got a big upset. I got the Vikings winning this game 20-19. Give me a Just Greg on this, too. And it's not about the quarterbacks. It's about the defense for the Minnesota Vikings. There's just a little something going on with this team. And I think they're going to rally without Kirk Cousins. And it's because of Cynthia's old Boston College comrade, Brian Flores. He's got them 4th in EPA on defense since week 6. They are swarming, and I think a swarming defense against Taylor Heineke could lead to a lot of bad outcomes for the Falcons offense.
All right, I'll take the Rams and the Packers in Lambeau. Stafford is questionable for this one. The Packers have dropped 4 straight, but I think the losing stops here in front of the home crowd in Green Bay. I've got them winning 23-21 based on the way that Jordan Love is playing in the second half. 70% of his passing yards this season, 80% of his touchdowns are in the second half. There's some positives to take away. Not taking Rams, Stafford also has a wiggly digit, but it's his thumb on his throwing hand. We're going to have to wait and see how things turn out there. But I am taking the Pack to end that losing streak.
Yeah, I looked at this game, and it comes down to Stafford for me. And it comes down to my daughter, who's a Rams fan. So I'm picking the Rams to win because I think Stafford has a good chance to play through that thumb injury. If not, it's Brett Rippin, and I don't feel as confident, and I'm going to flip my pick if it's Rippin.
Exactly the same, and I really like your daughter too. So for every single same reason as Greg, I would be flipping my pick as well if there's no Stafford. This is a Stafford full.
It's a big difference. Stafford to
Are we
Brett Rippin.
positioning me as anti-Ellis?
Yeah.
Because I picked the okay.
Yep. You hate Greg's children.
All right. Sorry, sweetheart. Mahomes, Kelsey, Tua, Tyreek, Dolphins-Chiefs. A lot of points. Points on points on points. Coming up, our favorite prop bets for the big game. Get your popcorn ready to the folks in Frankfurt.
Hey everyone, Scott Hansen here, and this is NFL Plus, where you can catch every play all in one place. You get access to live, local, and primetime games on your mobile phone and tablet. That's every in-market game with you on the go.
I never knew that was a thing.
Oh, yeah? And here's my favorite part. You can stream NFL Red Zone live every Sunday. What are you waiting for?
Game time, baby. Let's go.
Go to plus.nfl.com. Sign up today.
Huge game. Frankfurt, Germany, Chiefs, and Dolphins. We will be in the booth for you.
We got to show everybody who we really are.
Hey, we gone. Each and every one of us.
Oh, you thought I was done? Touchdown, Miami! Tyreek in stride!
The Penguin in action. Great to have you back.
Mahomes, the magic man.
On my neck, on my neck.
Kelsey in the end zone!
Huge play and a sack.
I'm the best. What are they talking about?
For the first time ever, the NFL kicks off in Frankfurt, Germany with Sunday morning football exclusively on NFL Network. A must-see AFC showdown as the Dolphins take on the Chiefs. Rise, shine, and watch on NFL Network Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern. You can also see it streaming on NFL Plus. It's time for more or less as we talk some props for this huge Dolphins-Chiefs matchup in Frankfurt. A lot of star power in this one, so let's dive right in. Tua Tagovailoa, more or less than 271.5 passing yards, Cynthia.
Höher für das Spiel in Frankfurt. Higher for the game, das Spiel in Frankfurt. I have 274 passing yards for Tua in this matchup. I actually, if you're looking for fantasy purposes, I actually have Mahomes throwing for more yards. But I think Tua's opportunities here are great because of yards after the catch. So the catch and run aspect of Tyreek Hill, who I have for 99 yards, also a very big deal.
All right, Greg, it's your turn. More or less than 2.5 passing touchdowns for one Patrick Mahomes.
I mean, my family's from Germany, but I can't speak
Unser?
German. Like
Are you going higher or lower?
French. I'm going lower. Let's
Unser.
go lower.
Unser. Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes is freaking me out a little bit. He's playing well, but Andy Reid isn't scheming up open receivers, or the receivers aren't getting open. He's getting protected so well lately, and it's really disarming. I've never seen this in 5 years where he's back there patting the ball, waiting forever for someone to get open, and you look at the all 22 and you see it, and like no one's open. Andy's not confident in those receivers in getting open other than Kelsey and just winning those matchups. And that's just a different Patrick Mahomes than we've seen. And so I think the Dolphins will invite them to run. That's just what their defense does. It's more likely they'd score rushing touchdowns. We're going under.
All right, under for Patrick Mahomes from Greg. I will take a more or less on Travis Kelsey. More than 7.5 receptions, and I am going more because I've also been brushing up on my German, and Travis Kelsey is gut. He's very good.
Sehr good.
In fact, in this regard, of course, we have fun with the on-off stats for whether or not Taylor Swift is at the game. That's something that people do. Travis Kelsey is good in America. He's good in Germany. He's good whether or not anybody, significant others at the game, whether Jason or Mom are at the game or Ed, anybody. Whether they tape a podcast, Jason's going to be busy, but I think Travis Kelsey has at least 9 catches against Vic Fangio's defense. Back to you, Cynthia. More or less than 92.5 yards receiving for Tyreek Hill.
Oh, well, Hoher again. I told you it's 99 for Tyreek. They've been lining him all over the formation, so you're going to see some screen passes maybe, some things that they aren't necessarily expecting. I am certain that there are plays in this playbook for this specific game against his specific former team that we have never even thought of yet. So if I know anything about Mike McDaniel, it's going to be funny and it's going to be fun to watch and it's going to be a great presser after. And I think we see at least 99 yards for Tyreek Hill.
Looking forward to the presser.
Me too.
The whole game, everything about the game is going to be a must-see. Jalen Waddle, more or less than 5.5 receptions.
Well, more is more fun. Let's go more. He's also had more than 5.5 receptions for 4 straight games, and this team is better when Jalen Waddle is getting his, when he's the complement to Tyreek Hill. And you pointed out, Patrick, earlier, okay, people getting on the Dolphins, that they've only beaten bad teams and they haven't beaten anyone with a winning record. I don't think the Chiefs' defensive ranking is because they've only played poor offenses, but it's just a fact that they've had a very easy schedule in terms of the opposing offenses. So do I see the Chiefs' defense as a top 5 defense? I'm not there yet. Slow down Jalen Waddle, keep him under 5.5, and then we'd be talking.
There's a lot of green right now, and I will go with more or less than 45.5 yards for Rashee Rice. There's a theme, folks. I'm going over
is that
here.
Green up there, or am I just colorblind?
Well,
It's
yes.
definitely green.
Oh,
on both counts.
Okay.
Shout out to Greg. No. It's worth acknowledging.
The Chiefs wear red.
Look kind of yellow to me.
But Rashee Rice has been the most targeted, has more reception than any other Chief wide receiver. It's not even close. As far as on the outside, the non-Kelsey receiving targets, it is Rashee Rice, and there are going to be points in this game, so I think it's more here. Let's get back to some running backs, Cynthia. More than 53.5 yards rushing for Raheem Mostert.
Wow, Prost! Cheers. 3 hires for me in this one. Hoher. It's going to be an interesting matchup with this defense. Now, I do think that they are very good, but they are missing some pieces here. Nick Bolton, he's on IR. And I've seen the injury report, and it feels like, Willie Gay's still questionable.
Willie Gay hasn't practiced.
He's questionable, officially. So they're missing some pieces, which means that's an opportunity for this team to leverage Mostert.
It's been really interesting defenses the last couple of weeks. I think the Eagles did this, really went out of their way, and the Patriots did too, to try to stop the Dolphins' run, and they've been pretty effective doing it. Now, it's just allowed Tua to go wild, but I'm going to talk about Isaiah Pacheco.
Yeah, let's do it. We'll throw in scrimmage yards for Isaiah Pacheco. Okay. We'll make it 83.5, more or less.
I will go less because I actually know this is red, and that just, it feels better that way. So I've looked, he's played 7 games this year. He's gone under, I think, 70 in 5 of them, actually. So he's had 2 big games where he's popped off. They like to spread it around. I could see this being a Jerick McKinnon game. I do think they'll be able to run the ball, but I don't think Pacheco gets as much done through the air this week. Like I said, I'm higher on the Dolphins defense than I was a couple weeks ago. They're healthier. I think they're playing better, and so I'm just feeling under.
Do you think Jet McKinnon will have a big game? Because then Jet, like an airplane, is a flug.
Okay.
Flug.
Now you're just bragging.
I'm just speaking German.
It's like she knows about Roth IRAs. She knows.
I do know about Roth
IRAs.
Cynthia is your Roth source. I will take
Max out your Roth. There we go. I'm not a financial advisor.
No matter what. Folks, I've gotten rid of my red, more or less than 50.5 points. I've got 27-25, so I'm going with more in this one. I think we will see points aplenty from both teams. I also think it's going to come down to the wire. I think the Fins win. How do you guys see the point total adding up?
Prost! I have more points in this matchup. I think this is like a really nice, Frankfurt got really lucky. Not only do they have a really fun booth of people there, but we all are gonna see a ton of points. This is one of the best games of the entire year, not just one of the best international games we've ever seen.
Right, we got lucky, so I'm not gonna go less. Let's go more. I actually only had it at 51. I don't think it'll be totally crazy, but let's be real. NFL Network hit the lottery here with Chiefs Dolphins. We're not going to get some 16-12 overseas game where they're jet lagged. Forget it.
Coming up, Baker and the Bucs are looking to right the ship, but they've got a tough matchup with C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Who's going to win? Our picks next on Game Day View. We're back on Game Day View. It's time for Pizza pregame predictions delivered by Little Caesars. Baker and the Bucs heading to H-Town to take on C.J. Stroud and the Texans. Tampa's looking to stop a 3-game slide. Greg, do they stop that slide?
They will. They're going to win 22-18 because they got the better quarterback in this game, even though he's a rookie. His name is C.J. Stroud. And when he was going through the draft process, we heard, wow, so accurate, makes good decisions. But, does he really make any plays? Is he going to do any second reaction plays? He's been fantastic when under pressure and having to create on his own. It really shows he's got the full arsenal, but something that all the draft nicks told me was a weakness in his game. Oh, he only was creative and made big plays against Georgia. Oh, only like the greatest defense we've ever seen. Like, it was only that one game. Well, there's a lot of Georgia-like defenses in the NFL, and he's making second reaction plays. Love watching this guy play.
Well, I have the same winner. I have a 2-point win for Houston, 22-20 in this matchup. But I want to give some love to Baker Mayfield because he's doing something that other quarterbacks aren't to the effectiveness that he is, which is being really effective when blitzed. He's very good. It's almost like you shouldn't pressure him and then play zone defense. Oh, exactly. That's what the splits say. They say that he actually is second worst when you're playing zone and you don't pressure him. You know who else knows this? The Texans.
Yeah.
So I don't think that this trend lasts for very long, meaning that he's super effective. But he has taken the second fewest sacks against the blitz, so it's working. Like, there's some good notes here.
Yeah,
Tristan Wirfs, thank you.
They're coaching him up. It's a different
XOXO.
Yeah, it does feel like a different Baker here in 2023, and we'll see how that turns out. I do have the Texans winning this game as well on the heels of what Greg was talking about with regards to how well C.J. Stroud is playing. But let's talk a little bit about this Buccaneers defense, specifically the Buccaneers blitz, because they're the first-ranked what I would call normal blitz rate team in the league. I say that because Brian Flores and Wink are sitting in the kitchen sink. They're kind of in their own stratosphere. But the Bucs defense is best by far in terms of stopping the run with that blitz rate being that high. The issue is the Texans can't run the ball anyway, so I don't know how much of a problem and a concern that's going to be. I've got Stroud and the Texans winning 24-17. Speaking of this game, let's take a look at some prop bets for this game for Stroud, Mayfield, Collins, Godwin, and Mike Evans. Cynthia, does anything on this board jump out to you?
Well, two things jump out to me. C.J. Stroud, 1.5 passing touchdowns. I think he's 2. You said it yourself. They don't really run the football. And Nico Collins, 60.5. I'm sorry, that seems very low to me. That could happen by the third quarter. So I'm looking at those two things and the opportunity against this defense. I'm into it. Those two.
Take note of those as we get into some more quick picks. The Commanders at the Patriots at Gillette. Washington kept it tight with the Eagles last week. Greg, what do you see taking place here?
I have the Commanders winning. I look at the weapons that Washington has. Ooh, am I the only one?
You're just Greg in it.
Just Greg on the
Okay, so let's watch this. We got Terry McLaurin here catching a pass. Oh, he would be by far the best skill position player on the Patriots. Jahan Dotson, not that much production this year. He would easily be the best receiver on the Patriots. Curtis Samuel's not in this game, but he also would be the best. And then the guy throwing the ball, Sam Howell, he would be a much better quarterback than Mac Jones, anyone on the Patriots. Talent matters. Like, get the players who are better at football. The Patriots have very few of those on offense.
But if you get the players that are better at football, do you then trade them away like 2 at a time at the trade deadline, or do you keep them?
That was
asking for a friend.
Hurting the Commanders' cause here, but I think they're still better.
Yes, shipping off half of their pass rush going against Mac Jones, who has had 2 or more passing touchdowns in each of his last 2 starts.
Okay.
It makes me feel a little bit better, and maybe Greg is just a little angry at the Patriots for their performances here in 2023, perhaps. I don't know. We'll find out. Bears Saints down in the Bayou. Tyson Bagent gets the start again for Chicago. Does Tyson Bagent get his second win, Cynthia?
I feel bad. No, it's 24-16 New Orleans in this matchup. Why? Have you seen Alvin Kamara lately? Because I think that the Bears, even though they did add a piece to their defense from the Commanders, I think they'll be seeing a lot of Alvin Kamara's back. I think that this is a team that is very vulnerable to the run and to short passes to the running back position. And Alvin Kamara, those are his, those short passes are amazing. It's like almost Austin Eckler level. And in coming back, he wasn't there for the first 3 weeks, so maybe we didn't think about him as, it really changes their opportunity to win the division. We all agree.
Well, you have them threading the needle. You have a little closer and only an 8-point margin here.
Oh, yes.
A team like the Bears
because 8 is so much different than 8.5.
That lets the Chargers win easily. Like, maybe even the Saints can do something expected. It's
Montez
not just Kamara
Sweat,
to me. It's Rashid Shaheed, getting 20 yards per catch. It's the year 2023, and he's averaging 20 yards per catch. It's amazing.
And it's incredible just how great of a deodorant winning is, because things were down horrendous in New Orleans. Everybody, Michael Thomas is on Twitter. We're talking about plays.
Just win a game.
You win a game, everything's great. I've got the Saints as well. We get to the Colts and Panthers. Carolina got their first win of the season. Congratulations Congratulations. But I will take Indianapolis here. Score 18-17, a very low-scoring game, which would be a rarity for the Colts as of late. But they're going into Carolina, where shout out to Giro Evro's defense. No one has scored more than 20 points all season. The Panthers are doing this while having a bottom 5 pressure percentage. I don't know how he's doing it, how he's making things happen, but the games get a little bit ugly in Bank of America Stadium. So I think it's a low-scoring game, but I agree with Greg and Cynthia. The Colts win this one.
How about that running game, though, for the Colts? Jonathan Taylor is starting to look like Jonathan Taylor, but you can't give him the ball that much because Zach Moss in the red zone is one of the best runners in the red zone I've seen. I'm just saying it's a nice
Jonathan Taylor played like the first half, and they're like, all right, it's your turn now, Zach. You go in and do it. Finish this one out.
Yeah, just an intriguing team that's in week after week. Crazy games that come down to the wire. We're coming down to the wire as well. Coming up, we got plenty of big names suiting up for Bills-Bengals Sunday night, but Cynthia's got her eye on a sleeper candidate. Wake up! Stick around for some Week 9 predictions that you need to write down. We have returned on Game Day View, and it is the game of the year. Watch Tyreek Hill and the Dolphins take on Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs live from right there, beautiful Frankfurt, Germany. A must-see matchup between first-place teams. You can catch all the action Sunday at 9:30 a.m. Eastern, only on NFL Network, and also streaming on NFL Plus. But hopefully that man with the cheese head finds where he's going. Yeah. Is it to the left? No.
To the right.
Maybe. Either way, let's get to some predictions for Week 9 as we get to write this down. Start us off, Mr. G.
Okay. It's the most magical time of the year. No, not Halloween, not Christmas. It's the time of the year where the Bills give up their best laid plans and they let Josh Allen off the leash and start running. We're going over 30 rushing yards this week against the Bengals when it's winning time, whether it was late in his rookie year or whether it was last season or when it's a big game in prime time, they want to win against Cincinnati, they let Allen go. They actually were calling design runs early last week, and that hurry-up offense that they started running, I think showed it's like, yeah, it was cool to try to keep him healthy, but it's even cooler to let him do what he does best. He's going to run all over the Bengals.
I love that. I'm actually staying in this same game, and I'm talking about the fact that we didn't see any 12 personnel. That's because Dawson Knox wasn't playing. But you know who we did see? Khalil Shakir. He's going to have more than 3 receptions and at least 34 receiving yards against the Bengals. He is their new Cole Beasley from 3 years ago. That's what I like. Sometimes he's in the slot. Sometimes he's out wide. This guy, he's kind of like a very fun, like pocket version of he's our short receiver. You know, I'm calling him short.
He's like the new Hawk. How did that song go again, though?
I mean, it only happened once. It's just a one-time only thing. I don't know where that came from.
If you want, you're going to have to go back and get it if you want it. I did malign the Jets' offense, but I do think that we will have a good performance from a Jet that is Breece Hall. Over 59 rushing yards.
In a losing effort.
In a losing effort against the Chargers on some Monday Night Football. Looking forward to seeing Breece, who's been very explosive, hasn't necessarily had the continued sustained success in the run game, but I think Breece breaks a big one against.
If they get their O-line back, if Dwayne Brown's playing, are you going to switch your pick?
No. I will not.
Fine. I'm happy to take a prime number. Yeah. Come on, Jets fans, help me out here.
Cynthia keeping you all afloat. Thanks for watching Game Day View, presented by Mercedes-Benz. We'll see you next week.